Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Microfamily Millionaire. This is a sub-series to the Share the Wealth show where I'm going to discuss strategies on how to build, grow, and protect your small multifamily empire. And today I'm actually presenting a training that I've done on the Power Partner Playbook. This is a framework that I developed to show you how to confidently find, vet, and connect with and nurture relationships with real estate industry professionals so you can create a powerhouse team to help you build your multifamily portfolio the right way. So, no wasting time, kicking tires. This is a direct strategy to help you build that out more efficiently. And if you want more information on how to get started and get this ball rolling for yourself in your individual situation, just reach out and put a message in the comments below and let me know that you need more help. Or if you want the bonus guide that comes with this training, let me know that too in the comments and I'll send that right over to you. Okay. So I want everybody to be successful, get this ball rolling, get your team members together so you can start on your path to building your portfolio so we can close the wealth gap. The more ownership that we collectively have, the more power that we have, right? So this is one thing I'm very passionate about, helping you be successful. So in any case, I hope you enjoyed the training. And now on to the episode. Welcome, everyone. Um, Today, I'm actually going to go over something that's really essential for your success in multifamily real estate, right? Even if you haven't bought your first property yet, it's about building the team. Building the right team is going to help you every step of the way. So, if you're new, I want to remind you, you don't even have to have experience or a portfolio to attract great team members. But what you do need is clarity, intentionality, and the willingness to take action and not just be idle and do what you're going to do what you say you're going to do, because that gains respect, right? Um, One of the biggest mistakes that I see new investors making is trying to do everything themselves, right? Multifamily investing is a team sport, you know? So whether it's finding deals, if you're managing properties or getting financing, all this stuff, having the right people on your side is really what makes the difference. So it's not just about hiring people, it's not just about hiring professionals, it's about really surrounding yourself with the people who are going to support your vision and help you avoid a lot of costly mistakes. And you can't avoid every mistake. This is real estate. Let's be real. There will be issues. You will have problems. I don't care how great your team is, but how effectively they can manage it and how they can hedge against how big an issue becomes, or even when you get a big issue, they can help you navigate that a little bit smoother because they're all working together and they know what they're doing, right? So by the end of this training, you're going to have a clear framework to start building your multifamily dream team, even if you're starting from scratch. And so, yes, I'm going to give you a challenge to start with. There's an assignment and homework. So I want you to be ready for that, but get ready. So if you're newer to this, you know, give me one sec. No, I'm about to go out into the living room and yell at my kids because they are making a crazy amount of noise. And I can't even concentrate on what I'm saying. Okay, give me one second. I can't even pause this. All right, look. Okay, so this is the joy of running your business from home and having kids in the house acting crazy. So, anyway, if you're new to this, it's going to feel overwhelming to think about building a team. Um, Especially if you don't think you have enough knowledge or experience to attract someone to work with you or make someone want to work with you and take you seriously. But start by asking yourself, what do you really need help with right now? What do you need help with first? Your power partners are going to depend on where you are in your journey, right? So if you haven't found a deal yet, then maybe you need to build relationships with brokers. If you're having issues finding a deal, if you're not good at doing direct to owner kind of things, that's what brokers actually do. So why don't you hook up with them and build that relationship and make some friends in that area? And then maybe you can get some deal flow through your brokers, right? Especially ones who specialize in multifamily. What about if you're nervous managing tenants? Then and you don't want to deal with like tenants, toilets, and trash, all that kind of stuff. You don't want to be the hands-on person dealing with talking to the tenants actually, then you need a property manager, right? And a property manager who can take care of that and take that off of your plate, and one who's like good and efficient and knows what they're doing and has been in that market, for a while. And what about like if you're not sure how to finance the first deal, then you need to start talking to some lenders, right? You can talk to brokers who have relationships with a lot of lenders and kind of get their view of what's happening in the market and what their lenders are lending on and criteria. So talking to brokers or lenders directly, the funding source, that's going to be a good look for you. So a lot of new investors, they think that no one's going to take them serious. So they're not even going to try or put that effort out there because they don't even have a deal yet. But that's what you need to know. Like, and it's something that I actually tell my mentees is professionals in the real estate space or anywhere else, they want to work with proactive investors, people who are have a clear vision, know what they want to do, and are going after it and are active and motivated and they can see the fire in their belly, right? They don't want someone who's passive and just, one day I'm looking, the next day I'm not. I didn't get back to you when I said I was going to get back to you, that kind of thing. If you're newer and you want to make a good impression, is start by being active, having clear vision, and doing what you say you're going to do, right? So, how are you going to start this? If you know anyone in real estate, which you should, if you've been looking at getting started in multifamily, I'm sure you've done other research, you've looked at a bunch of podcasts, you've probably been to some meetups and doing all that kind of stuff. But start by asking anyone who you know in real estate, even if it's single family, but ask for referrals, basically. Ask for referrals. Even the single family people, they may know professionals in the multifamily space and they can refer you to people who do work in the multifamily space, like brokers or contractors or whatever. So, really good professionals, they actually work across various property types sometimes. Sometimes they really, really honed in on a specific niche, but that's why you need to be specific about the type of property you're going after and the type of market you're looking in, so that you can get connected with the right kind of people and the right professionals for the team that you're trying to build, and so that they can help you where you're trying to build and what you're trying to build and the tenant type that you're trying to serve, right? So looking for these professionals who are active in your target market. If you don't know your target market, I've actually done a training on market selection and market research. So check that out, right? Or hop into my Facebook group, the Multifamily Initiative. I have all the trainings and recordings and resources there for you to, one, learn your market type, learn your market that you want to look at, and also learn the property type that you need to focus on and why that will help you create your buy box for very much needed specificity in order to now take that buy box to the professionals you want to work with, so you can build a team that is really aligned with the goals and you already know why you want to focus on this market and why you want to focus on this kind of property. And now that is in alignment with the professionals that you're bringing on board, right, for the team. So what you can also do besides looking for referrals or asking for referrals, like check platforms like LoopNet or local brokerage firms in your area, or even like LinkedIn or whatever else online, Facebook groups or whatever, and start looking for brokers or property managers who are looking at apartments that are listing. Like look for an apartment, right? Look for apartment listings that look like the type of property that you would want to have and look like it will attract the kind of tenant base that you want to serve. And then see who's a property management company of that building, and look for a few of those so you can start gathering property management names from active listings that you're seeing, right? So that's one way to start like sourcing them. Also, if you're looking on LoopNet or whatever other multifamily brokerage sites, if you don't have direct mail coming to you yet, then you can also like look at who has the most listings in a particular market that you're looking for. Like you're looking at the properties that you want to buy and like looking at ones that fit your buy box and start looking at who are the listing brokers for those sites, for those properties. Now you have some brokers who are active and you have some property management that's active. And now you can start vetting them and talking to them and seeing who's a good fit, right? So after you do that online research, you also need to hit the ground and like go to like RIAs, local RIA meetings, local meetups. You can do some online Zoom stuff, but you really need to do some online research, online Zoom, and do some in person going to particular markets and going to meetings and actually meeting people in person. Because now you have your clear buy box and you're very specific about what you want to get. And so it shouldn't be a problem, right? You should be able to find what you're looking for, or you should be easily refer. People will remember, like, oh, this person, I know they're looking in Ohio and they're looking for a 5 to 8 unit building that is brick built in 1980s and older, right? Or newer, I mean. So if you have that level of detail in your buy box criteria, when they see that, they're going to automatically think of you, right? It's not like everybody who's investing in Ohio, they're going to send it to everybody who's investing in Ohio. They know that this specifically fits what you want, so they're going to send it to you first, you know? So that's why being very specific with what you want is important, and it helps you build your team. So you can't be afraid about like promoting what you're doing and reaching out to people about your specific criteria and what you're looking to build, right? So you need to also now vet these team members after you start getting referrals, after you found people online from local like listings, property management and sales listings, and after you've gone in person and met people and all the things, right? So all these different sources that you're finding potential team members from, now how to vet them. This is kind of where a lot of newer investors trip up, and actually anybody is vetting is not easy, right? It's not like clear cut black and white. It's easy to feel intimidated and really unsure about like what to ask. But you don't actually need to be an expert to vet somebody effectively. You just need to ask the right questions. And sometimes you need to just go with your gut or what your intuition is telling you, right? Especially so if you're a good people person, vetting is going to be in your wheelhouse because you can kind of read people. And that's something that is needed on top of the questions that you're going to ask. So you can say, what I was going to say, not you could say, you can ask other investors or other professionals or whatever who've met at these other networking events if they've heard of this particular like professional or person that you're like this broker or this property manager or this contractor or whatever. Ask these other investors in your network if they've ever heard of that person, if they've heard anything good about them, anything bad, like what is the aura around this person that you're trying to vet. Just kind of get some ears to the ground, kind of what's the rumblings about this person, right? It could be nothing, which doesn't mean anything bad. No news is good news, right? Or you could be just hearing a lot of like, well, I kind of heard some shady things, or I heard this and that, like, or like, oh my gosh, everybody this person works with like says they're great. So you never know what you're going to hear, right? But that is the one step for vetting at the very beginning, is just hearing what people say about the person. And even if you get a referral from somebody, so referrals are big, right? You also have to think, if you're just asking someone, hey, do you know someone, a property manager in such and such county, and or you just throw that question out and they say, oh yeah, I think I know somebody, and they give you a name. Ask them, vet the person who's giving you the referral. Ask them, have they ever worked with that person before? If they have, like, or has anyone they know worked with that person before? Like, where did they get that referral from? How do they know that name? Because I've been given referrals before from some people who like I end up working with, and then it's just like not a good experience. And I have to go back and think, why did I even work with this person? Like, who referred this person to me? Like attorneys and whatever. This person to me. And I have to go back and think. And then like I'll ask the person, like, oh, either I got this referral from somebody I'm not really that cool with, like they're in my network, but I don't know them like that. We're not like, we don't have that great of a relationship. Or we do, but that person just said, "Oh, it was just somebody I know. I never worked with them before," and they're just like, "Oh, I just gave you all this random referral." No, you need an actual real referral from somebody who's worked with this person before, right? Or knows somebody who's worked with this person before and has like specific examples of why this person is a good person that you should work with. Don't just go with random referrals. So vet the person who's referring the professional that you need, right? Let's say for brokers, some questions you could ask. Don't just ask how many deals they've done. Ask them what kind of deals they've closed for first time investors, especially if you're newer. And this is going to tell you if they even are willing to work with somebody who's new. Um, and ask them if they've closed a deal recently to walk you through it so that it can show you like a sense of how they handle challenges. So that's good for brokers, just kind of to get the conversation going and to see what their experience is. For property managers, before you even call them, actually, you could do this. You could be a secret shopper, right? Pretend you're a tenant and see how they handle the inquiries. Like their responsiveness here is actually going to tell you how they are going to handle your future tenants. So turnaround time to call back a tenant who's called a property management company is very, very short. Because let's say if it takes them a whole day or 24 hours to call that tenant back, that tenant's already called 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 other property management companies and other places, and they probably already set up a couple of viewings to go see apartments. When you need to move, you need to move. And you don't have time to wait 2 or 3 days for somebody to a property management company to call you back to show you an apartment. Like you're trying to see as many apartments as you can now so that you can make a decision, you know? So that's one thing. If they don't call you back, like if you call to pretend you're a tenant and they don't call you back, or they're very like rude, they're not friendly, then you can easily weed out property management. Honestly, third party sometimes it's it's not that much extra effort that they have to do to really like impress or stand out. So if they can't even do the minimum, then that's not going to be a good look for you in the future, because that's how they're going to deal with tenants. And whenever you have vacancy, that's going to be the biggest thing to fill the tenants is the fill that vacancy is how they respond, how property management responds. So another thing you can ask them is how do they prioritize multiple owners in the same market? So obviously, if they're a property management company, they don't just work with you. They have hundreds and hundreds of units, potentially. Like even if they have 50 to 60 units, if those are not all your units, then they have other owners that they have to answer to as well. And the other owners also have vacancy. So how do they prioritize and juggle multiple owners with vacancy, with maintenance concerns, with tenant issues, all of that kind of stuff, right? You want to just see what their system is. For contractors, uh, you always want to ask for a detailed bid with milestones there, right? And if they resist that, then that's going to be a kind of a red flag, because a bid for work, if you want a job, then they're selling themselves to get that job. So if they can't even do the minimum of giving you like a detailed bid, right, with the itemized, then that's going to be a problem if you need to know how much things are costing and compare apples to apples, right? And there's something else that people kind of don't do. Get a lien waiver. And I heard this from another investor as well. Get a lien waiver at every time you give a contractor a payment. So normally, like if you pay, you're not going to pay your contractor upfront 100% of the money. That doesn't make any kind of sense, because then too many horror stories of contractors running off, right? You don't want to do that. So what you want to do is pay in payments. So you pay your upfront like deposit, and then at each milestone they're getting a check for whatever they've worked on, right? So get a lien waiver and have the contractor sign off on that every time they give a payment. That way they can't, like a unscrupulous, like if you find a good contractor anyway, you don't have to worry about this. But anybody who's not good, they can't go and then turn around and put a lien on your property because they said, oh, you didn't pay them, because you have these lien waivers every step of the way, right? So that's just some added protection to help you with some headaches, potential headaches, if you get a contractor who's not good, or a subcontractor who's not paid by the contractor, and then the subcontractor's putting a lien waiver. Like, you just don't want issues, right? Another thing is pay the contractor with credit card. A lot of contractors don't accept credit card, but you can get them set up with it, right? With like a Stripe account or something like that. So they can accept credit card. Now, if you can pay them through credit card, now if they don't perform on a job, or they don't actually even show up, or they don't finish, or whatever the case is, you can now put a uh what's the word? You can contest the charge with your credit card because you didn't receive the services that you were supposed to receive, right? So that's just another leg up, and then that payment will be taken back from the contractor. So you don't want that. I mean, they don't want that to happen, but you want to have that extra layer of protection. Okay. Now, when you're trying to build these relationships, the thing is, your power partners, and so power partners, I'm calling this, is because this is the power partner playbook, and this is how you build your dream team, right? But so if it's your dream team, you want consistent people as best as possible, as best as you can, right? So it's not like they're here just for that one deal. Unless you're just gonna buy, your investor just gonna buy one deal, that's fine, actually. But if you want to build a portfolio, then having a team that's going to be there and be able to work together is going to be, very beneficial for you. So they're not here for one deal. They're here to help you grow. And so treat them like long-term collaborators, right? Even if you're just starting out, you want to develop a good relationship from the gate. So follow up consistently, send thank you emails or notes after you have phone calls, or after something is done that they're helping you out with, or share like an article about something you heard in the market and ask them questions about it, see what their thoughts are, what are they seeing in the market. So it's just like, and you don't have to be overbearing. It's don't call them or email them every week, right? But little touches here and there, even when you are not actively buying another property at that point, it just helps keep you top of mind and let them know that you still are looking and you still are active and you still want to have a deal and opportunity. So that just is something good to do and helpful to like help build rapport. Um, so basically that's what it is. Like, you have your five, I say your five core. There's so many team members that you need to work with when you're building your multifamily empire, but there's five core team members that I think are essential, and I call them your core, the core part of your dream team. That inner circle is the brokers, property managers, contractors, lenders, and even the fifth one is like any potential joint venture partners, right? Because they're all long-term partners in this endeavor and business of yours. But joint venture partners actually have decision making capacity for your particular deal. And I don't know what the split is going to be, 50-50, 30-70, whatever, if you have two, or however you guys have it split up. But the joint venture partners also need to be vetted, and their experience, their financials, their background, because you don't want to be stuck with somebody who has access to all of your bank accounts and could steal the money and run off with them, which ask me how I know about that. But any case, that is not what this course is about. Um, let's see. Let's see. What I really want to say, end of the day, there are so many people that you need to work with, but you also don't need to build the perfect team before you actually get started, right? What you need is a willingness to actually take the first step. Start with one or two key partners and just keep growing and growing as you go. Grow your dream team as you're building. Have a couple at the beginning, but then start building up and get referrals from the other high achieving professionals. So like one high achieving PM probably knows a really good broker, right? And that's where you can start with one and then build it out by getting referrals to other high performing professionals that you need in your dream team core circle. And then from there, you build out even more like insurance and attorneys, title company, your CPA, like all of that kind of stuff. Those people you need too. So your circle of people is big, right? But you got to start somewhere. And you don't need to not start or be frozen because you don't have every single person in place at the very beginning before you even start looking for a deal. That's going to be a recipe for you to not do anything and be stagnant, right? Too many people just wait around for the stars to align. And guess what? Then they don't align, and that person does not do anything and does not take action. So do not let that be you. I want you to take action. Start with one. So this is the assignment. Simple, simple. Just pick one power partner that you need the most right now, right? Broker, PM, lender, I guess not contractor, it could be a JV partner, whoever, somebody that you need now. Like, who's the first person that you need the most to get this first deal? Then use the strategies that we talked about, right? Asking for referrals from your network, going to virtually, um, sourcing like listings and sales listing and rental listings for team members, going to live in-person meetups and things like that. So all your virtual sourcing and then referrals from other professionals in the network to find the one that you need the most, right? Then, wait, what am I saying? Find the one that you need the most, then using those strategies, and then pick three, right? So get a whole bunch of referrals and all this stuff, walking around. When you go to a meeting, say, hey, I'm looking for a good property management manager in Ohio, in this town or whatever, right? Wherever you're at, right? I don't know why I keep saying Ohio, so I'm not even out there. But get three referrals, like from all your different sources and all the different ways that you're going to be looking for people, and then call them. It's simple. Just call them, right? So just don't look for a broker, contractor, and lender. Just look for one person, right? And then, or one, I won't say one person, but you are going to filter down to one person. But look for that one type of professional. Like if you need a property manager, look for property manager. Let that be your focus. Like go around whenever you're at meetings or when you're looking at rental listings online or whatever, looking at referrals, looking at Google reviews, even though Google reviews are bad because tenants only were going to give a review when something's wrong, right? But if you find something like someone or a property manager that has good reviews from tenants, then that's like a gold mine. You need to contact them. They need to be on your list. So anyway, find that one type of professional that you need. Find three of those from these different sources and then schedule calls. At least three. Really, you could do like 5 to 10, honestly, if you have that many in your market to really vet and sort through. But three is the minimum. Find three, schedule a call, or email them, introduce yourself to schedule a call, right? I think, and that's really it. And then see how you feel about them when they talk to you. And now take their names and go float it around to other people in the network that you have met and see have they heard good or bad things about them. Ask them themselves. Ask that property management company. Do they have other investors that they can send to you as a referral, right? Like that they can say that they have like, hey, a testimonial for this property manager. Like, who are the other investors that you work with? Can I have a couple of their names or contact information? So now I can call them or I can email them and talk about the property manager or whoever, whichever professional you're looking for to see how this works and to see how um that relationship is building and how professional that person is actually at responding to inquiries or handling difficulties. Like you want to get real life advice from people that they actually are working with. And if you're not sure where to start, just ask yourself, be honest with yourself and ask yourself, like, what's really holding me back right now? Like, that's your gap. And that's where you need to focus. Like, where do you feel hesitation? Right? You need to fill that gap. If there's something that you just feel so super unsure about more than everything else, that's the gap, right? And you need to fill that. You need to find the who, not the how. You don't have to know how to do everything. You need to find the person who knows how to do the how already and align yourself with the right partnerships, right? So we covered a lot, right? I talked about, how to find them, especially when you're starting out virtually and in person, like some offbeat questions to have. I actually have a whole list of vetting questions for each of the five core um, dream team members that I have outlined here. Remember, I said that was your brokers, your property managers, your lenders, contractors, and joint venture partners. So I have a list of a ton of vetting questions for each of those five different members. And so if you're interested in any of those questions, you can definitely reach out, right? Put You know what? If you're interested in those questions, in the vetting questions, then put that in the chat. And that way I will message you and get those sent over to you, right? There's also this whole entire Power Partner Playbook. I have kind of spelled out a little bit better. I have it as a free bonus, like in a document for you that has some extra information in there on how to really step by step execute this. So if you would want the Power Partner Playbook, then put playbook in the chat, and I'll send you that. I'll message you to send you that. So vet if you want the questions, playbook if you want the framework of this, and I'll get it right over to you so I can get you started or help you get started in selecting the dream team that you need to navigate this entire like building your portfolio business. And it's not to say that you will never have to switch out some team members. It won't be perfect all the time. This is business, but it's also friendships. It's also building relationship we actually are respectful and yeah, I care about each other, right? Like everything in business doesn't have to be so cold, you know? So I believe that you can do this, and it's very simple. We're just going to pick one. Please message me when you pick your one and you decide which one is the one you want to start with and how you're going to build from there. And I can help you. I can help you, decide on the one if you don't even know where to start and where that gap is, where you need to start at. Message me too, and we'll figure it out together. And then I'll help you get started with building out the team. So in any case, I know this can be a lot. I know it can be overwhelming, but you already took the hardest first step by like showing up and listening to this conversation and to this training today. So the rest is just about taking small, consistent action, right? I'm all about small steps because by the time you keep taking small steps, small steps, small steps, you don't think you're achieving much, and you turn around and look, and you actually have so much progress under your belt. And I have experienced that myself. So I know it's true. Like you don't have to be the best. You don't have to bang your head against a wall. You don't have to stay up till 3 o'clock in the morning doing stuff. Just do what you can do starting today with what you have, with the time that you have, with the capacity and the resources that you have, and just do one step at a time. And slowly you will build up to where you need to be and having the team that you need to have and start slowly building to the portfolio that you want to have, right? So it's all about progress, not perfection, no excuses. You got the framework, you got the tools, and now it's up to you. Take that first step. I'm here to help. So have a great evening.